إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله وبعد. We begin by praising Allah, we praise Him, we seek His help, and we ask for His forgiveness. We seek refuge with Allah from the evil of ourselves and from the evil consequence of our evil actions. Whomsoever Allah guides, there is none to misguide, and whomsoever Allah leaves to go astray, there is none to guide. And I testify that Allah alone is worthy of worship, and that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is the servant of Allah and His final messenger. The first thing, brothers, is that alhamdulillah, Islam, as inshallah we're going to find out in the course of the lecture, has prescribed manners, etiquettes for virtually every single occasion and every single thing that you can think about. Unfortunately, the etiquettes and the manners that the Muslim need to observe is something that has been lost. It has been very much lost. Etiquettes actually are something beautiful. They adorn the individual, and they adorn the family, and they adorn the civilization and the people who practice them. Indeed, we could know a people by their etiquettes and by their manners. And so Islam has given this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given this ummah etiquettes that are not some man-invented customs or some products of conflict between classes. For example, the actual word etiquette in English derives from a system of behavior that was invented by the aristocracy in order to increase the gap between the aristocracy and the ordinary poor common people. And also not only between the aristocracy but the next level, those who aspire to be amongst the aristocracy. And they will always change the rules of the etiquettes in order to humiliate these people who are venturing to try and reach the upper stages of society, so that there actually was the purpose of it was to expose them and to keep them busy with these things. But alhamdulillah, the etiquettes of Islam, they have the opposite. The purpose of the etiquettes of Islam is to bring the hearts of the Muslims together, is to unite the Muslims, and really in terms to make them display the good behavior and to encourage them indeed in righteous behavior and obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So although the brother said please move close, let us actually talk about, before we even begin the talk, the etiquettes of sitting in a gathering. Yes? One day the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he was on jihad, and his companions made camp. One over here, one over there, all over the valley. They were spread out all over the valley. And the Prophet did not like this. He said to them, your spreading out is from shaitan. Your spreading out is from shaitan. That was enough. Then they used to come together and sit together so much and so close that if they got a cloth, they could have spread it over their heads. So therefore the manners of sitting in a gathering, especially a gathering of knowledge, is to come very close together, to sit all together. Well, alhamdulillah, no one's propping up the wall yet, but so let's do that. Okay, because this is a way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings the hearts together. Okay, this is part of our etiquettes. One of the beautiful things, my brothers in Islam, even come with this, we even closer, put the tripod up a bit. Even come, there's a big gap there. You know the gap? What's this? Shia Sunni divide, Wahhabi, Sufi, I don't know, what's the, so come on, yes, alhamdulillah. Because one of the things about our deen, my brothers, is this, is that what is inside reflects itself on the outside. And what is on the outside also reflects itself on the inside. And this is actually a reality. This is a secret that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has manifested in our deen. You know, many religions or many people somehow imagine that you can hold something on the inside, some belief or some conviction. That does not necessarily let itself show on the outside. However, that is not true. What you believe in what your heart contains is going to manifest itself on your limbs. If you truly believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you will do the actions of a person who truly believes in Allah. If our sisters are modest in their hearts, they will be modest in their dress. The two things come together. Okay, it is natural. If the Muslims sit close together, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings their hearts together. This is the nature. This is why we have been told to stand in the lines, in the saf of the salah, shoulder to shoulder, feet to feet. This is to bring, and so the shaitan will not come between us. Make your saf straight, and Allah will make your hearts straight. This is the connection between the outward physical and the inward spiritual. Making wudu, yes, is only a form, you could say, of washing yourself outwardly, but it is supposed to have an effect inwardly as well. And you see, this is Islam. It is like this in Islam. Anyway, without really meaning to, I've already introduced the topic of, you know what, I did all this stuff about sitting here giving lectures and stuff like that. You know, I don't think it works so well anymore. You know, I think people, you know, these days like a bit of interaction. You know? And, but anyway, we'll see how it goes. The university way of life, the Muslim way of life. My brothers, you know, it's not going to be a secret to you. It's like, even if you're just arrived here, you know, it's not a secret to you. But I mean, I'm thinking about this battle that's going to take place in Fallujah. You know, the same Bush is waiting now until, you know, he gets re-elected. Hopefully, yes or no. What do you think? I don't know. Is it good or bad? I don't know. Some people seem to think differently. Think he's such an idiot. The best thing that ever happened to the Muslims was George Bush getting elected. What has he really done? You know, just making more people angry. But you know, and I'm thinking about this upcoming battle. It's going to be fierce. Then I was thinking about you brothers here. I was just walking from the main entrance to over here, and I thought, you know, I was thinking, really, you brothers. You know, what you are involved in is a battle. It's not a physical battle. It's not with rocket-propelled RPGs and machine guns and Kalashnikovs against tanks. You know, in a way, the battle you're fighting is much more dangerous. If you are in Fallujah and you're fighting and you die, inshallah, we hope, you know, the brothers fighting for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shaheeds. But if you die in this battle, brothers, that's it. You're not going to die shaheed. You're going to die inhabiting of the hellfire. Because this is the battle over the hearts. This is the battle over your minds. This is the battle over your desires. And the weapons here are not guns. They're not guns and tanks. They're ideas that come into our mind and our hearts. They're the temptations of women, the temptation of desires, the temptation to abandon our deen, not only in our actions, but even really in our attitudes. And this is a very hard battle. Maybe this is harder in some ways than even the physical fight. And really this is what it is about. Because when you look at these universities where your brothers are, and really in reality, you find that what you are being invited to, is almost in polar contradiction to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is inviting you to. And I don't just mean here, you know, the invitation to drink alcohol, to fornicate, to have girlfriends, to go to discos, to enjoy your life as they call it, enjoy your life. But even the whole ethic, you know, the whole, what is the whole orientation of universities now, becoming increasingly more and more. The fact that now you have to pay fees. The fact that most people need to take loans in order to afford these fees. The fact that you are going, what it means is that university is no longer like it used to be. A place where not only are you trying to get a degree, but also the whole aspect of involving yourself in extracurricular I mean serious ones, you know, like political debates and getting involved in various societies. You know, I mean, these type of things that used to be, you know, part and parcel of what was important about a university education is becoming more and more difficult, even if you want to benefit from those things. The whole pressure on you in order to pass your exams, the whole pressure on you in order to succeed academically and immediately and achieve results is increased. What sort of attitude as well does that create in the hearts and minds of students? In other words, there now becomes, and I actually think that this is something that is done on purpose. I think that it is on purpose that they want to give people less time to actually think and to get involved and to really consider different aspects and different ways of looking at the world, to look at radical, non-conformist ideas and philosophies. I actually believe that what is taking place is all part of the plan in order to disengage people from those things, to make you conform even more to the principles of what type of society? A consumer society. A society run by corporations, a society whose concern is the bottom line, profit. And this is increasingly more and more what is taking place in our society and in the world as a whole. We have a society that is more and more controlled by and more influenced by big business, multinational corporations, whose mandate, who are legally obliged by law to consider only shareholders' profits. Multinational corporations, by law, are not allowed to care about the environment. By law, they're not allowed to care about charitable work. By law, they're not even allowed to care about their workers, about anything. By law, their mandate is one single thing: how much money can we make? Ironically, well, if you move the microphone close. It's broken. Okay, well, no, just give me a... Is there another chair? He's sitting there, young boys, old man like me. No, by law, brothers, these multinational corporations, they have to care about how much profit they make. If they care about the environment, and if they care about their workers, and if they care about charity, it can only be in so much as it helps them to make more money. That's all it is. When you see BP and Shell and all these people advertising and talking about how they care about the environment, what a lot of rubbish. They don't care about the environment. They only care about the environment in so much as their profits are affected. And their profits can be affected by what? By people who refuse to deal with them, by people who will refuse to purchase their products because of the damage that they do to the environment, or whatever it may be. Or because they exploit people in sweatshops, like Nike and Adidas and all the rest of it. Like these labels that we're so fond of wearing. And it is this corporate culture that is beginning to overtake the whole of society. When I say beginning anyway, what is the whole ethic of Western society? What is their life based upon? What is the message that this society conveys to us? The message is very simple. It is a message that tells us that the way to have happiness and joy in life is by consuming, is by buying, by purchasing products. Have this and have that. Buy this and buy that. Buy this thing and you will be happy. Buy this new phone. You know what's missing in your life? Your Motorola X125Z. Although you've got the X125, you haven't got the X125Z. And the X125Z has got these 3 additional features, life-enhancing features they're called. Alright? And you know, you will not be happy until you get the X125Z. And it breeds within you this malcontent, this desire to consume, this idea that by buying this thing, by having this product, by dressing in these clothes, by drinking this drink, your life will be beautiful, your life will be happy. We only need to observe. I'm sure you'll watch TV, or if you don't, alhamdulillah, but I'm sure you do anyway. Look at the adverts. Look at them. What are they actually selling you? Are they only selling you a product? Or are they also selling you a lifestyle? A whole way of looking at the world. So this is the image that is created in our minds. The image that is created in our minds that is, if we drink Coca-Cola, we will be like those beautiful white, I mean they're brown, but they're not, brown like you guys. They're brown like, tan in the sun, brown. Yeah? White people are brown with nice shining white teeth. Okay, and the sun is shining and the waters, whatever, they're dancing and they're having so much fun, and it says Coke, it's the real thing, and you say, yeah, I would like to be like that. I would like to be right there because they're so beautiful and they're having so much fun. And that's what you would imagine. It's now linked in your mind. You have been programmed, you have been conditioned. The illusion is created in your mind that if I drink this drink, I will be like these people. But what is the reality of Coca-Cola? The reality of Coca-Cola is that it is killing human beings. For the first time in history, there are as many obese people on this earth as there are people who are starving. They say that the next gen, for the first time in known history, that the children, our children, my children, so to speak, are going to be dying before the parents. And what is going to kill them? Obesity. Obesity, one of the main players in obesity is carbonated drinks. Fizzy drinks, sugar drinks, Coca-Cola, the very thing that they advertise. Coke doesn't make you thin. It doesn't make you beautiful. It doesn't make your teeth shine white. Coca-Cola kills you, makes you fat, makes you overweight. It rots your teeth. In fact, the advertisement is almost the polar opposite of the reality. Yet this is all perfectly legal. Extraordinary that it's all perfectly legal. They pass laws so that we have to wear a safety belt when we drive in our car. But how about foods that are killing children? Why can't they pass these laws? Because you know what's at stake? Huge multinational corporations. Multinational corporations who in fact directly or indirectly control the governments of the Western world. And their concern is profit. You are just a marketplace. You are just another part of their machine. That's all you are. That's all they want from you. And here you are in the university, part of the process. Part of the processing plant. That's all you are. And the more efficiently they can process you, the better. And part of that process is, of course, keeping you busy with discos and dancing and music and movies. Because they want you not only to be producers for this society, but also the consumers. Now let's think about it. You're going to experience and see lots of things about human beings while you're here at university. If you are guided by the light of Islam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts that light and understanding in your heart, you're going to see with your own eyes the foolishness and the misguidance of what these people are upon. You're going to see them running after so many things, trying so desperately to be happy, and so desperately and completely failing to be happy. Because really, this is what it's teaching us. This society is teaching us that if you want to be happy in life, these are the things you need. And they provide us with this world of fantasy and escapism. Music, cinema, discos, drinking. It's all really about escapism. Escapism from what? What are they escaping from? This is the question. What is it that they want to escape from? I remember reading and hearing about something extraordinary. It's not that extraordinary, in fact. And that was that when I think it was just after September the 11th, I found it extraordinary because there was so much going on in the world, but they still found time to put this in the newspapers, that they had found that amongst women, there was this dramatic increase in binge drinking. What they do is they get totally and absolutely, whatever, wasted or whatever over the weekend. So it's like binge drinking. They drink huge amounts of alcohol and probably take huge amounts of drugs as well, and huge amounts of sexual intercourse for you, right? Unabated hedonism. Okay? All concentrated into a very limited time frame, the weekend. So what they did is they interviewed these girls, 2 girls, working in the city and living at home. So they've got no rent to pay, they've got no bills to pay, they've got huge amounts of disposable income. What do they get from this working life? What do they get from this huge amounts of disposable income? Nothing. In fact, they're depressed. By their own admission, our life is depressing. In fact, by their own admission, they said, our life is so depressing that the only relief we get from it is by indulging ourselves in binge drinking and, as they themselves said, unabated hedonism. The pursuit of pleasure. That's what hedonism is. The pursuit of pleasure. Of physical pleasure and appetites. So when they do that, and when they get totally drunk and totally out of it, for that moment, for that few hours, they escape from their depressing life. Now, these are not people who are being bombed. These are not people who are wondering where their next meal is going to come from. These are not people whose children are dying of, plutonium or radiation poisoning. No, these are people who have, in worldly terms, everything. They don't lack anything. So why are they depressed? And if they're depressed, how about everybody else? In fact, what's so great about a civilization and a society that all it seems to do to most people is make them depressed? Okay, you've got money and you're depressed. And you've got movies and you're depressed. And you've got music and you're depressed. And you've got nice cars and you're depressed. You can get in a jet plane and fly anywhere in the world in 24 hours. You can go to Australia, you can go to Kenya, you can go to the Bahamas and sit on a beach of fine white sand and dive in a sea that is lukewarm. You can have sex with so many different partners, and even, if you don't fancy women, you can do it with men. Yeah, if you don't fancy, the opposite sex, it's so free for you to satisfy your desires, you can do it with the same sex. You can do it with 1, 2, 3, 20 people in one go. Have a big orgy. There's nothing against it. There's no law against it. No law against any of that. The only thing that you're contained by is like doing it out in public in front of everybody at the moment. Although, by the way, they've changed the law. They've changed the law concerning indecent acts in public for homosexuals. Because homosexuals lag doing it outside in public. So now it's only illegal if somebody objects. They used to be illegal, de facto, like that, illegal. Now they've actually changed the law, and it's only illegal if you keep on doing it after somebody objects. And are they happy? Are they happy yet? The evidence says no. The most prescribed drug in the history of prescribed drugs is Prozac. What is Prozac? An antidepressant. And this is the civilization they want to spread throughout the whole world. This is what they want to spread. When they talk about spreading democracy, my brothers, don't have any doubts in your mind about what it is they want to spread. It's not democracy, it's Western culture and consumerism. That is what they want to spread across the world. So what is it? You see, what are we taken in by? Our Muslim brothers and sisters, what is it that is so attractive about this lifestyle? What is it that makes it so appealing to us? What is it that makes it so hard to resist? When some people call America the Great Satan, really in reality, this has got nothing to do with them supporting, well, not nothing. But it's not about supporting Israel or invading Iraq. It's nothing to do with that. It's about a whole way of life that is built upon materialism and satisfying or seeking to satisfy people's baser instincts. And that is their way of life, my brothers and sisters. That is what it's all about. And these universities have become universities for that, to train people to become like that, to make you part of the system. Just like school is making you part of the system. And even when you rebel, they want to make sure that, because they recognize people like to be rebellious, but, the way to be rebellious is, even they have a sort of accepted way of being rebellious that fits into the system. What is it? Smoke a bit of weed, grow some dreadlocks, yeah? Maybe if you're black, listen to some black rap music, gangster stuff, yeah? Put a baseball cap the wrong way around and look like a gangster, That's like rebellion. But even that rebellion is totally within the framework of what's acceptable to them. Because you are still totally confined to their materialistic philosophy. What does a gangster want? What does a gangster want? Money, power, gold, bling, bling, what they call it, bling, isn't it? That's it, bling, nice car. But the gangster, of course, hasn't got the brains or couldn't be bothered to get it through working, so he gets it through stealing, through selling drugs. But you know what? He's still part of the system. He's still part of the mentality. He's still a propagator for their religion. Because that's what he's doing. He's still preaching their religion. He hasn't left their deen. He hasn't become a murtad, apostatized. No. He's still within their religious framework of their God that they worship. Their God of consumerism, their God of money, their God of, whatever it is, materialism. And that's the way of life. So brothers, let's be quite honest. This is a deen of theirs. It is a religion. They have their own morals, their own etiquettes. Because think about it. What is your God? What is a God? What makes something a God? So let's participate now, brothers. Right? What is a God? Let's think about. Because I don't think a lot of us really think about what religion is and stuff like that. So let's think really deeply about it. What is a God? What makes something a God? I don't mean what makes something the creator of the heavens and the earth, but a God, like an idol, or anything that people worship. What makes it a God? Who can tell me?
Something you aim towards.
Something you aim towards.
It's an achievement.
Like an achievement. Well, think of it this way. Why do people worship things? Why? Come on, guys. Why do you worship Allah? Yeah? Why do you pray? Why do you worship? Why do you call upon Allah? Why? Huh?
Thank Him for the mercy.
Okay, you thank Him.
You think you can get what you want?
Okay, that's not what I'm looking for.
You think you can get what you want?
Huh?
You want something. No, I think you can get what you want.
Okay, that's what I'm driving at. Not that what you said is wrong. It's not wrong at all. Alhamdulillah. I know what you said is wrong. But what I'm trying to get at is this: what's at the base of it? I mean, why? Yeah, we thank Allah, but why do we thank Allah? That's what I'm trying to get at. Why? And okay, it's not Allah, I'm just thinking about anyone who worships a God. So someone who worships Ganesh, or someone who worships Krishna, or someone who worships Jesus, or, I don't know, like the ancient Greeks and the ancient Egyptians used to worship different gods. What did they think they were getting by worshipping those things? So the brother hit it on the head, right? They think that by worshipping this thing, they are going to get what they want. If I pray to Ganesh, I believe that good luck is going to come to my life. Yeah? If I worship usually the god of war, if I want to fight a battle, I'll go and worship the god of war. If I want to have a male child, I'll probably worship, I don't know what they worship, lingam, whatever it is, a big phallic symbol, okay? I don't know, but you worship the fertility god, right? I mean, in other words, what you want, you worship the god. And the god, you think, or you imagine that by worshipping this thing, you're going to get what you need and get what you want. Okay? That's what people imagine. That's what makes something a god. And that's why people worship it. Actually, think about that deeply now. Think that really deeply. And then think about yourself, or think about others. What do you think is going to give you what you need and what you want? Think about what you really believe is going to make you happy in life. What is going to make you happy? What do you really believe is going to give you what you need and what you want? Now, for a Muslim, we should believe that it is Allah. Allah is the one, by worshipping Him, that we're going to get what we need and what we want. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is really the controller of the universe. He is the source of our success. But how many people really believe that? This is the question. We say we believe that. We say we believe in Allah. But in reality, is that the truth? Because look at us as Muslims. Do we really believe that Allah is the source of our happiness and success? Or do we think it's something else? Do we think it's money? Or looking a certain way? Or being a certain way? Or having a certain type of car? Or a certain type of phone? Or having a certain type of girlfriend? Or whatever? No, in reality, you see, my brothers, really, when we look at it, most Muslims, they say they're Muslim, but if we really see deep down inside, who is our faith? What is our faith in? What is our trust in? What are our aspirations for? For a Muslim, the dunya has only one purpose. The world, for a Muslim, has one purpose. Only one purpose. To help us worship Allah. That is it. Everything else in this dunya that does not help us to worship Allah has no benefit. That's it. If it doesn't help you to learn the deen of Islam, or be a student of knowledge, or to make remembrance of Allah, or to worship Him, if it doesn't help you to do one of those things, if it's either has to be one of those things, because, for example, prayer is from this dunya. There's no prayer in paradise. Prayer is something from the dunya. The as-salah. So either you are worshipping Allah, that's something from the dunya, or it's going to help you to worship Allah. Otherwise, the Prophet ﷺ said, the world and everything in it is cursed. Except the scholar, the student of knowledge, the remembrance of Allah, and what helps you to do that. This is the reality. And this reality is rooted in Tawheed, my brothers. It's rooted, and my sisters, in our belief in Allah. And so many Muslims have this misunderstanding. They think that believing in Allah means that I just believe Allah exists. That there is a creator who created this universe. And, that's it. That's why so many of Muslims are ready to accept this nonsense that I've heard being propagated. That Jews and Christians are our brothers in faith. Our brothers in faith. They are not, they are kuffar. They are mushrikeen. The Christians are mushriks. They're people who make shirk with Allah. They are not people of Iman. They do not believe in Allah. They believe in the Creator, but they do not have Iman in Allah. They don't. They are people who make shirk with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They make partners and rivals with Allah. So the issue of Islam, even when the Prophet ﷺ, even the pagan Arabs, they believed in Allah. You know the pagan Arabs believed in Allah? The Quran, it says, كُلْ مَا رَبَّ السَّمَاوَاتِ السَّبْعِ وَرَبَّ الْعَرْشِ الْعَظِيمِ سَيَقُولُوا لِلَّهِ. Say to them, O Muhammad, who is the Lord of the seven heavens? Who is the Lord of the glorious throne? سَيَقُولُوا لِلَّهِ. They'll say it's Allah. They believed in Allah. They believed Allah sent down the rain. They believed Allah caused the crops to grow. They believed Allah caused the living to die and will bring the dead back to life. They believed that about Allah. But what did they do wrong? They worshipped something else. And this worship, as the Prophet ﷺ told, it's not confined even in the Quran. It's not confined to worshipping idols or worshipping saints, as the Christians do, or worshipping at the graves of dead people, as some other people do. These are obviously forms of shirk, of worshipping idols. But worship could be something else. You could worship your desires. This is why Allah mentioned in the Quran, in the meaning, haven't you seen the one who takes their desires as their God? And this is why I tried to get from you, what is a God? What is a God? A God is the thing that you believe is going to give you what you want. So you can take your desires as a God. Yes? Woe be to the worshipper of the dinar and the dirham. That's like money that was used at the time. How do you worship dinar and dirham? What, did they used to put it on the table and pray to it and sacrifice to it? Is that what that hadith means? No. They worship money. How do you worship money? Exactly. You worship money when you think that money is the source of success. And you don't care how you get it. When you have money, you're happy. When you don't, you're sad. You think that money is what is going to make you happy in life, then it's your God. So really, brothers, the Islamic way of life, the Muslim way of life, as opposed to this way of life in the university, and what we believe and what we should be propagating and teaching to others, with more vigor and more intensity than what these people are doing with their Prophet. Is we believe that happiness comes from living our life according to the way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, by worshipping our Creator, by believing and knowing the fact that happiness comes from Him, that all the things and all the success in our life comes from worshipping Allah. Brothers, I just came from Kenya yesterday morning, and on Sunday, this Sunday that just passed, at the end of my trip, I met a man who had converted to Islam. I was not an ordinary man. This guy was an Anglican bishop.